If Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Presented by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Friday. Well done. Well done. Well done. Two of my favorite words. Well done. Accomplished. Mission accomplished. Task completed. You got through. Good stuff. Rico, this hour of radio, what do we call it?
This, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the show, is the fastest hour in radio, sponsored by Aloe. Aloe Communications and the Mill Coffee are pleased to announce the return of the much-loved summer concert series in Lincoln's Telegraph District, 330 South 21st Street. The live at Telegraph series will take place from 6 to 9 p.m. every Wednesday beginning June 1st and will run through August 3rd. Members of the community are invited to enjoy free local music featuring a variety of genres. Live at Telegraph is a free community event with food and drinks available for purchase starting at 5 p.m. courtesy of the Mill. A different local brewery will be present each week to help you beat the summer heat. Not only is this a family-friendly event appropriate for all ages, but dogs are welcome as well. Parking will be available for each event in the Aloe parking lot. This Wednesday's entertainment is Spare Change. Join Aloe in bringing the community together to celebrate local artists, food, and businesses.
Do you know who Spare Change is?
I do not know who Spare Change is. Do you know who Spare Change is?
No, we're going to have to Google.
We will. We'll have to look up some music. Play it. Play it later.
That would be amazing.
With a name like Spare Change. I find that the weirder the band name, the better the music.
We need to actually come up with like.
There's got to be some type of correlation.
Really cool band names that haven't been used yet.
Every once in a while, people just say things, and it's like, "Ooh, that sounds good."
Well, something from a movie. Is there a movie title? Like I think like Die Hard would be an amazing band name.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Good Burger. like if Good Burger was on the marquee, you're going to see Good Burger, right?
Yeah.
You're like even if you don't know who they are, you're curious.
Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Sorry, I had to. I apologize.
Don't. 402-464-5685. Sartor Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. Getting the live video streams by Sartor Heyman are up. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and the Twitter. You can just join in the conversation. You can share. As a matter of fact, we need to rally.
I think I found a Spare Change promo video.
Okay.
On YouTube somewhere.
Okay. Well, do we know what it says though? You have to preview that one.
I don't know what it says, so I'll have to listen to it in the break.
You'll have to, yeah,
because that could be a problem. So we'll do that.
We don't know. Well, from the fan base, from the listeners, is there anybody that knows anything about Spare Change?
Not like Spare Change you find in your pocket or your couch, but the band Spare Change.
Well, yeah, not what your grandma gives
Their promo video says, "We specialize in bringing the party to your party."
Okay. So it's not what your grandmom pulls out of her little coin, her little. Yeah, do people still have those? The little coin pouches?
Some people do. My grandma used to have one that it didn't like click. It was like magnetic. It was like rubber, and you should just push the sides, and then it opens. Like it's not magnetic. It's not.
Oh, so she had one of the rubber ones.
Yeah, and you just push it, and it opens.
Oh,
and she had all that
yeah, the ones
couldn't hold much change.
Right, because everything had to be flat.
Yeah,
in it.
So if anything was sideways, it would mess it up.
And it usually had a little chain on the end of it.
Yes. Yeah, we got it from the zoo.
Had a little change on it. And then my grandmother had, hers was like this gold glitter.
Ooh, fancy.
Right? Gold glitter. And when what would happen.
Is that where you got your pizzazz from?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, my grandmother was a real Southern grandma, Southern black grandma. Her name was Hattie Sue.
Oh yeah.
Hattie Sue
Oh
Harris.
yeah.
Right? Hattie Sue. Right? So, and
Oh, I'm
my grandma.
gonna go over to her house to eat.
Sunday at Hattie Sue's?
Hattie Sue. Yeah, you go to
Bruh.
Hattie Sue's
Listen,
for some delicious meals.
Look. There was some.
If you're named Hattie Sue, you have to know how to cook.
You
that's
have
just a
to,
rule.
right? And she started Saturday night.
Oh.
She started Saturday night.
So it was good.
And then all of the cookouts were at Hattie Sue's house.
Of course.
Right? So Hattie Sue was born in Southern Virginia, in this little town called Lunenburg, Virginia. And she was a maid back in those days.
Mm-hmm.
In the South. So
yeah,
you know what that was, right? And I didn't recognize until later in life all of what she carried with her. Right? When you start asking grandparents about their life,
mm-hmm.
she would share some things and you go, wow. Like I could have only been born at the time in America when I was born.
mm-hmm.
Right? Was a maid and then went to work for the U.S. government, moved to D.C., went to work for the U.S. government and worked there for 40 years.
Wow.
40 years. And she lived a little better than the rest of us, for all of us. Like she had the nicest house in the family. But it was the house that everybody gathered at.
Mm-hmm.
It's where you learn to barbecue, you learn to grill, you learn to, she took you to church, and she took you to church all the time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what Steve Harvey say? Bible study. You get like all the days.
Every day is the
like
Lord's
all the
day.
days.
Not just Sunday.
Right.
Every day is the Lord's
like,
day.
She would tell you, right? And then there was always gospel music playing at my grandmother's house. At Hattie Sue's house, there was some
mm-hmm.
Reverend James Cleveland on. There was you were going to, like, the staples were always going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
But she would start cooking Saturday evening if she wasn't, if the family was getting together and grilling, she was in the kitchen, not only serving, but then also setting up for the next day. So you knew on Sunday there's going to be chicken, there was going to be greens, there was going to be mac and cheese, there was going to be probably a sweet potato pie or maybe an apple pie. You knew that there was going to be a ham was going to be present,
mm-hmm.
right? And if everybody was coming, everybody took some with them. And if they weren't, what would happen is so there's a stretch. I lived our back to back. So our houses were back to back. So my backyard was her backyard,
mm-hmm.
like attached to
Perfect.
her backyard. So if I was ever getting in any nonsense in the backyard,
she knew.
The window, I would get to shout through the window. And if I was doing something really bad, this little woman would stomp out on the back porch, and you knew heaven and earth were about to come together, right? She was a disciplinarian. My father feared her at a high level. This little 5 foot tall woman, and she was a giant until I grew up, right? Only to learn that she was 5 foot tall.
Same,
right?
I think my grandma's like 4'7". I don't know how tall she's short.
Right,
like I rest my chin on the top of her head.
Yeah,
and I'm short.
Yeah, like she was a giant. Like she was the only human who could make my police officer stepdad step down. Like even when he was in uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And all she would do is she would bite her bottom lip. And we all knew once the bottom lip disappeared, all bets were off.
Everybody's in trouble.
Like whatever was going on, chill out.
Better stop.
Chill out right now. But she would start cooking on Saturday night. Sunday morning you would get there. You go before church because that was a meeting place. And then you go to church, and then when you look,
You're just sitting in church, stomach grumbling because
mad.
Because you know.
Mad. I'm like, listen, Reverend Robinson, you need to finish this because you know what's waiting for me. Do you know what's waiting for me?
I need you to speed it up immediately.
Immediately. And then the only thing that would happen is during football season, during NFL season, even back then, the church figured out to put a TV in there and have people bring like brownies and cookies. So at least you were appeased for a little while while you had to do that. But then, yeah, Hattie Sue. And we shared the same birthday. So we were both born on the same day. I was born on her 50th birthday. And I used to tell people I'm her favorite. And she said, you kind of are because you were my 50th birthday present.
There you go.
And then when I was in junior high, for the 3 years of junior high, I lived with my grandmother to help take care of her and help take care of my grandfather. And my grandfather went through his stuff, but it was interesting that I was the caretaker at age 13 for my grandfather, who he'd go drink, and I get the call, hey, he's over here at 22nd Street, come get him. Okay, all right, I got you. And then, as much as I hated those phone calls, in retrospect, those are some of my favorite moments, because whenever I would walk him home with his arm over my shoulder, he would drop wisdom. Like, he would drop bombs, man. Like, he would drop bombs. And like he was one of those ones that would, while chewing you out, he would elevate you. Like, he would tell me, like, you're not going to be one of these use your hand people. You're smart. I don't ever want to see you under a car. I don't ever want to see you pushing a broom. I want to see you changing things. And I'm like, okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it was a respect thing, because you'd hear the history, right? You tell his history of him being born in a different part of Southern Virginia, and then they met, and then they moved to Northern Virginia, to an area in Northern Virginia that was only for Black folks. It was bought by, I remember there's a Jewish man who bought all this area near Robert E. Lee's mansion. And he said, I'm only going to sell these to Black folks so they can learn how they have the ability to buy homes and grow. And that's that area, that it's a high-powered political area just around the Pentagon. And it was strong. So it was there, but she was also the one that engaged me. So she bought me the first football when I was, 6 years old. And Sunday morning after church, before football would start, I'd go out in front of her house with the football, and I would play the entire game. That was whoever Washington was playing that day, I would play against them with the Redskin players, but just me. And I would do the play-by-play as I was playing. And so I was Sonny Jurgensen to Charlie Taylor to Roy Jefferson. Yeah, I'm Pat Fisher picking off a pass. I'm Ron McDole getting a sack.
It's necessary.
Right. and she engaged it. She's like, how we doing? Like, are they winning?
How's the game going? What's the score?
Yeah, because some grandparents are going, strange little boy.
Weird.
Strange little boy.
What are you doing?
Strange little boy. So, but she engaged it. And if, I'd walk in the house and there'd be a glass of fresh lemonade. Like, you put in work today. How'd it go? And man, think about it. That was a special woman, right? Like,
yeah,
all the neighborhood kids just going, that Pearson kid's out there doing
play-by-play
again.
Look at him, just playing football by himself again, yelling at himself, intercepting himself. I don't know what's going on right now. His grandma's egging him on. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, well, I had my crowd, right? I had my crowd. I mean, I look from 6 to probably 13, I picked off Joe Namath. I picked off
Oh, it's necessary.
Roman Gabriel. I picked off
Couldn't have
Fran
passed
Tarkenton.
you.
Think about it, right? Like
Never
I
throw
picked
any
off Fran
touchdowns.
Tarkenton. Oh, I got you.
The great Fran Tarkenton threw no touchdowns on me. What's up?
Well,
And another shutout.
look,
for
right? Like, way
Washington.
to go, Pat Fisher.
Woohoo!
Chris Hamburger. To think about that, two of my childhood heroes were Nebraska Huskers, and I didn't even know it. Right? So when I got here, and then you start having the conversation about Pat Fisher and Ron McDowell, it was like, wow. And I was like, no, they played here, right? Like, and then Tony McGee, who played with Pat Fisher, told me the story that Pat, when they ran scout drills for the Redskins, Pat Fisher would play quarterback. And he said, that's not weird. And I said, no, because Pat played some quarterback here when he was in Nebraska. So it was always, like I said, I'm always intrigued by that thing here. Ray says you're getting me in the feels here. No, I mean that, right? Like we have those things in our past that kind of direct us. Sanderson said he did the exact same thing. And your grandmother was there, the same as well. Like just standing, like again, she's making meals and she's catering to people, but all the while she's peeking out the front door and just
make sure everything's good.
Everything good. Like, I guess she was waiting for the day we were going to take a loss. That was going to be a difficult day.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
You beat yourself?
Yeah, you just walk in the house with your head down. She goes, "What's wrong?"
Yeah, they lost.
The game hasn't. No, we lost. Oh,
it was like the most.
Fran Target was just on fire. I don't know what happened.
Like I remember in
I
remember in 72 when Washington was playing the Dolphins in the Super Bowl. And I remember that day it was important for me to win so that I did my part so that Washington could beat the Dolphins.
Every time I win, they win.
Well, it worked through the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like it worked against Green Bay.
Obviously.
Like it worked against the Dallas Cowboys.
It's
like
me.
Like
I am the difference.
No, like you really at age 10,
yeah,
it matters.
You're just sitting there like, you're welcome.
Thanks, Washington. I did my part. Like
I'll be waiting for my Super Bowl.
Like I would run like Larry Brown, right? Like I would run and then Charlie Taylor, Charlie Taylor did a thing that when he caught a touchdown, Charlie would just turn. He didn't spike the ball. He would just turn to the official and he would raise his hands with the football in one hand and he would just stand there in the touchdown pose. And so at age 10, like that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to catch this touchdown pass and then boom, hit it, right?
Got it.
And I just remembered that my friends, I had a friend named Jerome who witnessed all of the insanity, right? But he was not that dude. Like he was not going to participate, but he would
look at this kid.
Like he would sometimes, but he didn't like after we'd play, after the game was over, we'd come out and replay the game. But he would just look at me like that is remarkable. Well, after they lost the Super Bowl, we all ran out in the streets, right? And everybody was kind of depressed. And he goes, "Did you win in the pregame?" It's like, you shut up. Like it was somehow my fault. Yeah.
Did you win by enough?
That I didn't do the Gary Upremian muff.
That's what it was.
Field goal. I didn't put all that in.
You didn't include the important parts that.
I did in the post game. What we did, so in the game, Washington got to 14-7, and they had one final possession with like 2 minutes left. But earlier in the drive before that, in the drive of the first half, it's Billy Kilmer because Sonny Jurgensen was hurt. So Billy Kilmer's leading them, and Billy Kilmer, who was not the world's most effective passer. Again, former college tailback back in the day.
Okay.
Right? So now he's Washington's quarterback. And Jerry Smith is wide open in the end zone. Wide open in the back of the end zone. And Kilmer throws the best pass he's ever thrown. It's a dart. And Jerry Smith has his hands up and he's ready. Except for back then, The goalpost was on the goal line.
Oh, no.
It was on the goal line. And Billy Kilmer hit the crossbar.
If you hit the crossbar, it plays dead.
Plays dead. Well, it hit the ground. It just hit the ground.
It went down.
Like
If it hit it and went up. Like
Smith was in the back of the end zone.
Oh.
And the crossbar sits at like 10 feet.
Yep.
At
And
the goal
he
line.
had it perfect angle
And
going
Billy-
to him.
If
But
Billy Kilmer had tried to hit that crossbar from 20 yards out, he would have gone 1 for 20.
But
This
one
was the
time,
one.
and it was in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl, and it ranks up there with me with the Jackie Smith drop in the end zone. It's just there.
You're just like, were you aiming for the? I wasn't aiming for the
He
crossbar.
wasn't aiming for the crossbar. Like he's never hit the crossbar before, and he hits the crossbar, and nothing. And I was depressed. And so in the post game, as we're playing, you had to just drop it. You just had to drop the ball. You had to drop the ball. So anyway, I don't know how we got on that. How I got on that tangent.
I don't either.
That's amazing. Okay, cross the script up.
Whatever.
That's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk college softball. That's what we're going to talk about. College World Series. Softball, baseball, we'll go through the schedules of what's happening here. There's lots going on this weekend. Let's talk about it here on One-on-One when we come back.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsurancenE.com.
At Allo, we think you deserve the fiber things in life, like binging your favorite TV shows and movies buffer-free, next level, lag-free gaming, and video calls without frozen faces. So say goodbye to lag and buffering and hello to super fast fiber internet with dedicated 24/7 support for total peace of mind. Plus, no hidden fees, no expiration dates, and no contracts, ever. From dependable service to exceptional support, experience the fiber things with Allo. Go to allofiber.com/fiberthings and switch today.
From selling a home to even building one, you're doing a lot and need a lender who can help you do it. Like Kelsey Fluhop of Security First Bank.
As a mortgage loan officer, I value my customers and work to make the mortgage process easy and even rewarding.
Mortgage lending from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 505011 and 1730635.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hi, this is Dave Osted from Osted's Golf. Let us make this your best season yet. Voted a top 100 fitter by Golf Digest, our master fitters have been trained by the same guys that build clubs for PGA pros like Rory, Tiger, DJ, and Jordan. Have old clubs? Trade them in Osted's Value Guide, or have our club specialists get your clubs swinging like new. Go to our website and make your fitting appointment. You're a click away from a better golf game. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Hey Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up.
Click it or a ticket. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Beatrice Bakery. They ship cakes all over the country. True story. But take a look inside their shop and you'd have no idea. This is a Nebraska product through and through. Not some massive production plant. Local people making delicious cake just for you. So go see them in their new storefront location in downtown Beatrice. Grab some grandma's fruit cake, some chocolate rum cake, or my favorite, the turtle nut cake. And say hi to Rick and the crew. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to One-on-One. We finally realized that, it was the band Spare Change and the conversation Spare Change that took me down Grandma's
We figured it out.
Grandma's Road. That's how I got down that road. Speaking of Spare Change, Rico, we now have something to share.
We do.
The concert's next Wednesday.
Yes, it is. So, for anybody wondering why we're talking about Spare Change, Aloe Communications and the Mill Coffee are pleased to announce the return of the much-loved summer concert series in Lincoln's Telegraph District, the Live at Telegraph Series, 6 to 9 every Wednesday beginning June 1st, running through August 3rd. So this next one, you can get food and drinks available at 5, courtesy of the Mill.
Dogs are allowed.
Dogs are allowed. Parking will be in the Aloe parking lot. This Wednesday's entertainment is Spare Change. Who is Spare Change, you may ask? Here you go.
We have to offer.
Here we go.
Tommy Two-Tone. Have we dialed 402-867? Have we put 402
in front of it? I don't think so.
Brian Adams. Okay. In my lane. Is that the deep or outfield?
I couldn't tell you.
It's either outfield, the deep, or the deep, and the song is outfield. I think the band is outfield, and the song is the deep.
Tonight.
Nice note, Rico.
Thank you. I can hit things sometimes.
I couldn't.
Look at that.
Okay, so do you do the dance when you hear this?
Kind of have to.
Yeah.
It's kind of necessary. I don't know who's screaming.
I think somebody in the band.
One of the guys is playing a violin, and it's like a really fancy-looking violin.
Yeah. I'm all for any band that has an electric violin.
Like, look, I think it's awesome. It's like green. It's like a triangle.
Yeah, I'm all for that. You're gonna have to beep this part. Remember, because he says a word. Well, he said a word. So
does he? He says Fitch.
Yeah.
It's close.
I was a little sick. Little Jackson 5.
They're doing a little dance, so not they don't just they're not just a cover band.
But they have to do the actual Jackson 5 dance.
I hope they do. They're not hitting like the whole arms because they're
playing.
Throw
their arms to the side.
Yeah, well, they're playing instruments.
And then you hit it. Yeah.
One of the guys is kind of doing it.
Okay. I'll be mad. I'll be mad if if I go to this thing and they don't do the steps. I'm gonna be mad.
It's the violin guy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So they hit a little bit of everything.
Okay. So now you know what to expect. What age group? This is kind of how this works, right? right? The Brooklyn 99 scene with that song is amazing. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
Adam, you are absolutely right. That is spectacular.
Woo! That was exhilarating. That's the one. That's the one. They killed my brother.
Is that
Oh, I forgot we were doing that.
is that show underrated?
Extremely underrated.
Right? Like I'm not sure the comedy's better on any show.
It's so great. It's so great.
Like each character,
Andy Samberg just hits it every time.
it's perfect. It's perfect.
Just all of them.
It's perfect.
And I'd love and
the women of Brooklyn Nine. And look,
Rosa Diaz.
I would
the fact that she
fanboy.
does the fact that she doesn't sound like that in real life,
Right.
and she's actually super bubbly in real life, just throws everything off.
It's a great show. It's a great show.
Like she's in, was it the new West Side Story?
Yeah.
And she's singing, and
Slightly
I'm like,
surprised.
wait a minute.
Right. Like what happened here?
Like you're Rosa Diaz. You're a badass. You set fires for fun.
Yeah.
What is happening?
I didn't know, and now you make me love you. So
Crazy.
Yeah. So if you're gonna go to the event, that's kind of what you'll get along the way. So good stuff. Their football camps and stuff going on. Mark's sending us notes.
Is he?
On the Husker football camps.
Ooh, fun.
So they've got them for the next couple of weeks at the stadium. Open to the fans. So you can go down and watch some of these 7-on-7 camps, lineman camps, the Friday Night Lights, all that stuff. So here's all the stuff you need. So they're sending that out. So,
very nice.
It is a big day in collegiate sports.
Yes.
It's a big day. And correct me if I'm so the track finals are this weekend?
I
Or next
believe
weekend?
so.
Or next
I think
week?
it's. Let me look it up real quick. I
Or
could have
next
swore it was this weekend. No, it's definitely next weekend. They take a week off because they had regionals or whatever last weekend. So they take a week off and then they go up to Eugene for nationals.
Well, Axelina qualified.
Yes.
She was second in the regional. So now she goes to the NCAA championships with a shot to win in shot put. And they've got company. So Darren Ruff, I believe, is also going to nationals. A couple of other throwers
Darius
are going.
Ruff,
Going to the nationals. Yeah, so the nationals June 8th, so next Wednesday through next Saturday in Eugene, Oregon. But this is a big weekend for college sports because College Baseball World Series and the College Softball World Series. Softball World Series is This is the championship
This is
weekend.
the World Series down in Oklahoma City.
This is World Series weekend.
Home of USA softball.
Yes. Today, losers bracket. So 2 teams will go home today. First up, number 5, UCLA versus number 9, Northwestern. Pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
Pitcher's duel.
There were a lot of runs scored in the early games yesterday. The final game of the day was more of a pitcher's duel, but this one is definitely going to be a pitcher's duel with Northwestern and UCLA going up against each other.
Wouldn't it be kind of awesome if it was like 10-9?
I mean, it'd be fantastic. I am all for I am all for more action.
If it was 10-9, I would be perfectly fine.
Although I'm not mad at strikeouts. Look, I know we're not talking about them, but Oklahoma State's pitcher, her pitches know where the bat is because I swear to you, when those batters swing, they are right on, and then the ball's just like, nope, it just goes up, it just goes down, just barely avoids.
Can I ask the question? Is there any substance being used in softball for pitchers like it happens in
It doesn't seem like it. I don't think so.
Like you would think that it would at some point.
I feel like that would mess
over.
I feel like that would mess you up.
I don't know, but
because the release point is different.
But watching the movement,
like the release point from when you like how you let your hand go, the way that it's kind of like you flick your wrist up as opposed to throwing it. So you would think it might get stuck and it would go too high.
I don't know.
I don't actually know how any of that works. I'm just making stuff up.
No, I don't. Seriously, I was watching them throw. It was Texas,
and
I don't want to put that on them, but that's who I was watching. And late ball movement, requires resistance. Like it's the seams against air, and then
Well, the seams are a little bit higher on a softball than on a baseball,
which means the movement should be greater.
Which it is. That's why that's how you get the rise ball and the drop ball and how it just moves differently.
So I'm curious as to whether that's actually a thing in softball. Now, some of you softball coaches and softball dads, maybe you can answer the question
I don't
for
think
us.
so.
Like, is that a concern?
One thing,
are you ever concerned about what's on the towel or what's on the rosin bag that they? Because each pitcher has their own.
Well,
so
some of them don't even use rosin bags. There's some that have different strategies on how they do it. There's one that I don't remember what school it was, but Rachel was saying it was just annoying because she had the same routine every time where she would get the ball back, go to the back of the circle, rub the dirt 3 times, get up, spin the ball 4 times, down her leg, up in the glove, down her leg, up in the glove. She did that 3 times, and then she would get set every time.
So isn't there a rule about where the pitcher can engage with the ball? So they have to go to the back of the circle?
I could not tell you.
Yeah, there's all sorts of different rules.
There's different
about
things that
engagement and where they could catch the ball and how they could engage and where the ball has to be when they toe the rubber. The disengagement or the connection to the rubber as they pitch and throw. You can't leave the ground in full.
That's the one thing that is a big issue for pitchers.
Like you can disengage and launch, but you cannot leave the ground.
It's very
you have to have a foot
the calls are very inconsistent. Yeah, you have to keep a foot on the ground, drag your toe, but the calls apparently have been so inconsistent throughout the years that some people are calling for them to just get rid of the rule. Some professional softball players, obviously some collegiate softball players, coaches, are calling for them to just get rid of the rule because the way that they call it is so inconsistent. Some pitchers get away with it, other pitchers don't.
Well, what could happen?
So apparently it gives more power. It allows you to throw the ball faster, harder, because you're getting to launch yourself off of the ground. When you drag your toe, it slows the body down.
But if they did that in baseball, I mean, it's the same thing, same parts of science, right? That if you're launching with your back leg and you're supposed to stay connected to the mound, but nobody does. It's almost impossible for you to pitch at the college and major league level with your toe on the rubber.
Yeah.
Like almost impossible.
With softball, you have to keep your foot on the ground. You have to drag your toe. Some people don't, and they get away with it. Some people don't, and they don't get away with it.
And it also help if you're like one of the taller pitchers because it puts you closer to the hitter. So the ball has to travel a shorter distance.
And that's the reason they don't want you to jump is because you get farther out, you get closer, which allows the ball to go faster, harder to hit because the release point is later on in the action of pitching. So
also a question with the increased power, does steroids jump into play
in softball? I don't know. I feel like steroids comes into play in every sport ever.
Right.
But so as for right now, I don't think I mean, I could be completely wrong.
As we were talking about with Priscilla,
I don't think anybody's been.
As we were talking about with Priscilla last night, the players are stronger. They're hitting more home runs, better back control.
I think that's just the acceptance of weight training in softball. Well, I think before it was kind of a thing where I don't want to lift because I don't want to get too muscly. And now with it, muscly. With the movement to more body positive and body positivity and acceptance of all types of bodies, people are like, oh, like I can lift, no matter how I look, like I'm good.
Whenever muscle mass is the issue, people immediately jump to the supplementing of that because it's there. So I would, in my head, just to whatever executives, administrators are in play, that you might want to get ahead of that.
I feel like they are. I feel like they're testing. I don't know if anybody's been busted.
I don't know.
Maybe they aren't testing.
Well, Hammond Bean says that they're in all sports in Russia because they were using the female athletes as prototypes.
Yeah.
So if the training that happens in European countries, and then here in America, in different pockets in America, right?
Yeah.
That at some point, as the game becomes more athletic, more explosive, more dynamic, that there are going to be athletes who add to their toolbox. So it's there. Like I said, the game is changing. So let's keep our eyes to it. Who are you picking? So who goes home first? Who goes home first? UCLA or Northwestern? No pressure, Rico.
As much as it pains
No
me
pressure,
to,
Rico.
as much as it pains me to disregard our Big Ten brethren, sisters.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, you're going home. Northwestern is going to be on a plane back to Chicago.
Oregon State and Arizona.
You think I'm gonna pick against Jenny Finch's alma mater?
They're so talented.
No, I can't do that. They're in this. Their coach is in her first year after Arizona's coach, who was their coach since 1986, stepped down last year. She's in her first year. She is the first. This is the first time a woman head coach has gotten to the Women's College World Series in her first season ever. She did it after starting 0-8 in conference. 0-8 in conference. Then they won like 18 of 20 something.
Talk about pressure.
Yeah, and then they swept their way through both regionals, in which they obviously didn't host. Dropped out of the top 20. This must have been hard for her. They dropped out of the top 25 for the first time since 2014.
Imagine being the replacement for Tom Osborne and losing the first 8 games in conference. As a that's the legendary status that she's following.
And then somehow making it to the national
And
championship.
then never mind. We're gonna win our way through.
Yeah. Swept their way through the Mississippi State regional.
Glorious.
And then I don't remember who they faced in the super regional. Oh, they faced Mississippi State in the super regional. Because they stayed on the road. They were talking about the story. Wherever they were, they stayed on the road for that entire week. They just went to Starkville and just stayed there. So they were in Starkville for a week. Then they played Mississippi State, and then they went to Oklahoma City. Fantastic. They were just like, why would we go home? We're gonna have to stay over here.
It's gonna be a crazy weekend. All right, so we'll throw the break. Final segment. We'll talk about baseball. They start 11 o'clock. It's happening.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Allo means business. Allo means local business. Allo means big business. Allo means small business. No matter your business, if you need reliable phone and internet connectivity, you need Allo. Local service and same-day dispatch. Free installation. Symmetrical upload and download speeds. If your business relies on communication, rely on Allo. Allo means business. Visit allofiber.com/business.
Honey, huh? What do you think?
Well, why is there a huge prize wheel in the middle of my living room?
Well, we both love Wheel of Fortune so much, I thought I'd build us a home version of the game.
Who's gonna clean up this mess?
Well, let's spin the wheel and see.
If you want the ultimate Wheel of Fortune experience, enter the Nebraska Lottery's Wheel of Fortune Second Chance promotion. Through August 2nd, enter any non-winning $5 Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket for a chance to win one of 3 prizes. First, you could win a real wheel experience, which is a trip to LA, tickets to a taping of Wheel of Fortune, and a studio tour. Second, you can win the Take a Spin on the High Seas package, which is a Carnival cruise that includes onboard credit. Finally, you could win a spin in the City of Lights, which is a trip to Las Vegas that includes spending money.
Am I in trouble?
Let's spin the wheel and see.
Enter the Nebraska Lottery's Wheel of Fortune Second Chance promotion. Scratch ticket top prize odds 1 in 128,000.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cottle. The high school spring season has come to an end, but now Legion baseball is in full swing. In the senior division, Hastings defeated Kearney 9-4. Hickman defeated North Platte 9-7, and Omaha Gross defeated Omaha Scott 16-11. The recruiting race for Archbishop Bergen product Cade McIntyre has heated up. After a strong junior season, McIntyre has received a flurry of offers from schools like Tennessee, Oklahoma, Kansas State, and Nebraska. McIntyre is a consensus 3-star athlete and the 3rd highest ranked prospect in Nebraska. Gretna boys soccer had a team-high 5 players on the boys Super State first team, including the honorary captain, Brett Perkins. Samaya Hogg of Lincoln Southeast was named the honorary captain for the girls soccer Super State team. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is the equal opportunity employer.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Southeast Community College has learning centers in Falls City, Hebron, Nebraska City, Plattsmouth, Wahoo, and York so that you can take credit and non-credit classes at a center nearby without having to travel an hour or more to campus. By taking online classes and those at a learning center, you can earn your degree from SCC where and when it's convenient for you, all at a cost that won't stand in the way of your education. Learn more about SCC's learning centers at southeast.edu/learning centers. SCC, your path to possible.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. Springtime is here, and that means you're outside more in nice weather and maybe even having garage parties with neighbors. The drink of this spring and summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs and 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment on Friday, so you know what? We dance wherever you are. Wherever you are. Close the door, roll down the window, whatever. You're in the car. Turn it up, Rico. Chair dance. Nick, you're not dancing. Nick is not dancing. Get him, Rico. Get him, Rico. We're into the weekend. Come on. Set the mood, baby. It's Friday. You did it. In the car, at your office, at home. Grab your little baby, make him dance. Grab your puppy, let him dance.
Always. You want to dance? You want to do that again? We need to get Nick to dance. Hold on.
Come on, Nick. Yeah. Come on, Nick. No, Nick. Yeah. We need this. No, Nick. Come on in here. Come on in here, Nick. Come on in here, Nick. We're gonna end this Friday. We're gonna turn on that camera. We're gonna turn on your camera. Turn on your camera, Nick. We got to do this. So wherever you are, again, the music's gonna go up. If you're in the car, go ahead, fasten. Make sure the seatbelt is fastened and get your jam on. If you're in your office, Go ahead and let people know it's a meeting. You need to shut the door. You can stand up and dance. You can sit down and dance.
You don't need to shut the door. Just let everybody
let everybody else know. So Nick is involved and Nick
You're
is ready.
listening to One-on-One with DP.
Friday dance off.
Beatrice Bakery.
Let's go, baby.
On 93.7
Nick, what's your move?
And theticketfm.com.
Oh, go with it.
I do not have
Go
one.
with it. Yep. You got a boy band going on now. So you can,
This is where all the views go down.
no.
Okay, Rico.
Uh-huh. Yep.
There, you
See,
ready?
anything new addition, you can just do this. That's perfect. That's how you get it on a Friday. You earn the weekend. Hit it. Turn it up, Rico. Go. Get him, Nick. Get him, Nick.
All right, we're done.
All right, what's in store for for the Cappy Show?
Judging by all the clips that VJ's having me get, a lot of Ric Flair.
Oh, I
So
may have
you
to
may have to stick around.
Are we celebrating something?
I may have to stick around.
That's all I will say.
Rolex wear,
Jet flying.
jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing. And I'm having a hard time keeping these Gators down.
You got to do the stomp when you do
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
It's hard work. Thank you, Nick. Greatly appreciate it. Rico, let's do the rundown of games to be played in the Baseball College World Series. We open with Florida State and UCLA.
Hell of a way to start things off.
Man, just announce yourself with authority. Announce your presence with authority.
Baseball was like, all right, we are here.
We are here.
And also, Auburn, don't nobody like you, apparently. So I don't know what you did. I don't know who you pissed off. But for Auburn to host a regional, congratulations. But to have Florida State and UCLA in that regional with you, I'm sorry.
You just mad.
I don't know who you made mad, but you got SEC, Pac-12, and ACC just chilling.
Spectacular. Campbell is in this thing against Georgia Tech.
40 and 17, Campbell.
And
don't forget that.
Right? So I would think, carefully said, that Campbell knocks off Georgia Tech.
Well, then they got to face number 1 Tennessee because they are in the Knoxville regional.
Whoops-a-diddly.
Hey, if Campbell makes it to Omaha, I'm buying all the Camel stuff.
I'm going to buy Campbell stuff anyway because of Mike Manor.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It'll just be Campbell football.
Makes sense.
That's all.
All right, at noon, UConn playing Wake Forest in the College Park Regional.
I'm slightly sad that I'm not there.
Wake Forest 40-17-1.
Legitimate. And UConn's
what is the one?
UConn's really good. Well, they didn't finish.
Oh.
Game went late. Yeah, they just left it as was. It wasn't pertinent to.
Got it.
To title consideration. UConn's talented. Good work, but I'm not sure. Well, but their ace is good enough to beat Wake Forest.
That is a
So that's
a pretty hell of a regional. The fact that
and Maryland's just
these two have 13 and 17 losses, and oh, by the way, it's Maryland's regional,
and it's all shared recruiting. All of these teams share recruiting.
Oh, yeah, they really do.
Yeah. So
jeez,
these guys
know each other.
Grand Canyon and Arkansas.
By the way, not Arkansas's regional. They're in Oklahoma State.
Wow. Did we find out what kind of hotel? See, Grand Canyon didn't tell us what kind of hotel they were in.
They're 41-19. They didn't need to say nothing.
Yeah, they
announced themselves with a bang at 12 o'clock. But that's on the SEC network. So
okay.
If you can get it, you can watch it. But
I'm watching all of it. This is a 4-screen day.
ESPN Plus noon. Columbia and Gonzaga in the Blacksburg regional.
Again, I'm kind of sad that I'm not at one of these spots this weekend.
It's all up where you live.
Yeah, these are. I mean, think about that. How about that?
Look at that.
Look.
Who would have thought we'd be here?
Look at us go.
And then another 12 o'clock. A lot of 12 o'clock games. So you're gonna have a bunch of screens.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's
some ESPN Plus, ESPNU going on.
I think there's a multiple screen.
Good. That's necessary.
all.
Liberty takes on Oklahoma in the Gainesville regional.
Okay, Oklahoma, but look, Liberty's got they've got an ace up top. That game 1 is going to be legit.
I'm excited for that. Greenville regional host East Carolina takes on somebody that won their conference tournament, Coppin State 24-28.
Yeah, no, that's not going to go well.
Have fun.
That's not going to go well.
That's also at 12 ESPN Plus. So again, multiple screen.
And they're home. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then Austin Regional, Texas somehow hosting a regional. This one's on the Longhorn Network. They play Air Force. And man, I hope Air Force wins.
I like their number one. I like Air Force's number one.
Do you?
Yeah.
I hope Air Force wins. I can't. Texas.
It'll be tight early, and then later in the game, Texas will pull away.
Texas lost the Big 12 championship and somehow still hosts a regional, while Oklahoma is the Big 12 champions and has to go to Florida. Whatever. It's Texas. Fine. Whatever. Texas Tech takes on Notre Dame in the Statesboro Regional. That's on ACC Network. Army goes and takes on Southern Miss at the Hattiesburg Regional. Southern Miss is hosting. ESPN Plus at 1.
Get to the 3 games that matter.
The 3 games that matter.
5 o'clock, Coastal Carolina against Virginia.
Oh, those are the games that matter.
Those are the games again. 6 o'clock, Wright State versus number 4 Virginia
Tech.
And there actually there's 4 games. Long Island against Maryland, and then at Chapel Hill at 6 o'clock, VCU Rams
take on Georgia.
We'll beat Georgia tonight.
Yeah.
Book it.
You're going to beat them?
Book it.
You're throwing that down right now. You're just throwing that down?
Book it.
Well, I feel like this game also matters because I feel terrible for Oregon State. They're hosting a regional. They have Vanderbilt in their region.
Dancing trucker.
San Diego plays Vanderbilt.
You got 30 seconds.
Okay. I'm looking for something else to say. Nothing else.
We got it. All right, everybody.
That's all the good ones.
Show coming up. Dance your way through to the Captain Show. Appreciate y'all. Great week. Have a great weekend.